With the beautiful Puget Sound just to our west, you get a look inside Lumen Field here in Seattle, Washington. This crowd, as we've come to expect in recent years, as loud as any in the NFL, and they get even louder when their Seahawks are introduced. We're ready for football as the Seahawks get set to do battle with the San Francisco 49ers. The final playoff push is upon us. It's Week 12 of the NFL season, and we're underway on EA Sports. And no run back here, so they'll bring it out to the 25. They go play action here on first down. Rolling to his left. He hits his target, Lockett. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield.
And that's a nice throw right there. And I'll tell you what I've seen in recent times and actually watched a presentation in the offseason from a college offensive coordinator that showed about 10 different drills that he runs with his quarterbacks to show them how to get out of the pocket, how to get comfortable when they're doing so, and to make plays under that type of duress. That's an example of what we're seeing in the colleges delivered to the NFL.
Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9. They'll look to throw. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Cohen. And this winds up a gain of 4 to the 41. This defense for the Niners, they played extremely well last week in the win over Atlanta.
And what I saw on film was a nearly unstoppable pass rush. 5 sacks last week, plenty of hurries given up. So now what do you do on offense? You just max protect, keep everyone in, and run the ball. Or maybe just 1 or 2 receiver routes in order to try and keep your quarterback upright.
And he is going to have a Seahawks first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. Pretty solid start for the rookie here on this first drive, Charles.
Able to have some confidence, stepping back into the pocket, move around a little bit, find open receivers, and deliver. That just means his confidence is going to continue to grow because he's getting more and more comfortable with each completed pass.
And incomplete on the deep ball. These two teams met up earlier in the year, back in Week 4, and it was the visiting Seahawks who were victorious in that one. So they now look for the sweep here back home in Seattle. They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw. And this will be caught by Metcalf for a Seahawk touchdown. DK Metcalf, his 9th touchdown of the season. And the Seahawks take the ball down the field and score on their opening drive. Point after, right down the middle. And that makes the score 7-0. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. Here comes Deontay Harris from his end zone. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. They fake the handoff. Now Lance rolling to his right. Here's a diving catch right side.
When you're a player of his stature, you don't just circle the games on your team's calendar.
You circle the Pro Bowl?
Without a doubt. That's a game that you just figure you're going to be in each and every year. And it's because of catches like that. That's why he goes.
Now a play fake. Lance sliding out of the pocket. Got an open man. That's David Njoku, the tight end. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion. He was out there waving his arms, and when you got a quarterback out of the pocket looking for any help, I guess waving the arms is helpful.
It certainly is, because you got to get his attention, because now you're in scramble drill. So everyone's adjusting their routes, finding open space, and he found the right spot for the completion.
These two teams, they met up in Seattle earlier in the year with the Seahawks coming away victorious. So a win here in Seattle, tough as that may be, would give them the season sweep. Play action. Now it's Lance. Steps away. Left side, that's caught by Mitchell. And he'll lose yardage here. Back at the 47. He was unable to shake free there, and they'll cover him for a loss of a yard.
That was well defended, and while it was a completion, it resulted in a loss of yardage. It's really, really hard for a running back to think to himself, I probably should have just dropped it and saved the yardage. It goes against the entire training that he's had his whole career.
Throwing again on second down. Lance escaping the pressure right. He rifles one that's intercepted. Jordan Brooks with it. And the Seahawks are going to take over at their own 41. A young quarterback, Charles, rolling to his right. I know he's right-handed, but is that one that maybe a veteran sticks in his pocket?
I think so, but you have to remember with young quarterbacks, it may take a few years before they get all the stuff out of them that they did earlier in their career or even in their college days when they were used to being dominant. In this case, the NFL veteran defense ended up winning the battle.
The last run got 6, now 2nd and 4. Here's Carson. And he'll fight his way forward to about the 48-yard line. Only a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 3rd down.
What an advantage having an elite guy in the middle of the defensive line, because not only does he take up the space and let the linebackers run free, but he can also make plays himself, as we just saw there.
On 3rd and short, they'll try and pick it up through the air. And that will be incomplete.
And this is what you want to see from a defense. Give up an opening drive touchdown, that's fine. But how about them going back out there, recommitting themselves to the task at hand, and forcing a 3-and-out and giving the ball back to their offense.
And a little too much mustard on that one. It hits a couple yards into the end zone. A missed opportunity there maybe to pin them back. The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. They had the interception last time. It led to the opening touchdown. So now 7-0. And looking for Kittle, but it's intercepted. Picked off by Jamal Adams. And his guys are going to get the football at the 37-yard line. CD, I know it's just his 2nd year in the league as a quarterback, but that's going to be one when he flips on the tape. He's like, I shouldn't have thrown that ball.
No doubt about it, and his coaching staff will be emphatic about he shouldn't have thrown that ball. But remember, 2nd year, as you noted, on-the-job training, so he's got to take this feedback that he's getting, negative or otherwise, and turn it into positives moving forward.
That catch good for only a couple. Second and 8 coming up. Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. Oh, that's into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Charvarius Ward. And this, Charles, definitely not what they were wanting to see. Remember, he threw 3 interceptions in the loss last week, and now he gives the ball away again here in the very first quarter.
And you have to think that this was drilled into him all week, too, by his teammates, by his coaching staff. They've told him all week long, we've got to protect the football. They probably crossed that fine line with giving him the right advice and saying it too much, and it turned out that it got into his head a little bit.
3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7. Now Lance. The first catch of the game for George Kittle. And able to get this one out just shy of the 25 at the 24.
Some space and kind of body people away and catch the football. But not this guy. He's a refined route runner. Makes me wonder if he took some dance classes in his background with his footwork.
And that throw behind his man, he missed him, incomplete. He was trying to get it to George Kittle, his tight end. And that'll bring up second down. By the way, I got to apologize because I just realized for about the last 4 or 5 plays, I'm eking over into your territory up here in the booth. My bad. I'm going to get back over to my spot.
Yeah, we're not talking about our on-air commentary. I mean, what is all this extra paper? I mean, this is unusual for you.
My bad.
Normally you run a really tight ship. What's going on here?
Just like that incomplete pass, I'm going to try to tighten things up here for this next play. Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. Lance going to throw. And here's another interception, the 3rd of this first quarter. It's the linebacker, Alex Anzalone. Boy, so another interception, CD, and it feels like he's starting to unravel a little bit.
And as you would expect, still a work in progress here in his second season. He has to start ironing out some of these mistakes, though, because now his head coach, his offensive coaches, they have to evaluate whether you keep playing him and let him work through it, or you start thinking about going to his backup.
A short gain here, maybe a yard to the 29. After 1, 7-0 on EA Sports. Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run. Looking to throw. And that falls to the ground, incomplete. A nice job of bodying him up defensively, and now it brings up 3rd down. So they've been unable to capitalize on the great field position as of yet. Here's 3rd and 9. Back to throw here. Letting one go deep for the end zone. And this will be caught by Metcalf for a Seahawks touchdown. DK Metcalf, his 10th touchdown of the season, 2nd of the game. And the Seahawks find a way to stretch their lead. Point after, up and good. And it's now 14-0. Kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. Here comes Harris out of the end zone. And all in all, a pretty solid return. Nearly got it to the 35. They'll mark him down officially at the 34. The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack them here. From the 39-yard line, here comes 2nd down and 6. Here's Lance. It's brought in by Harris. And he's able to get this one out closer to midfield across the 45. A gain of 4 last play. They double that here and get 8. On 1st and 10, here's Lance. Eluding the pressure right. On the run, he'll let it go deep, right sideline. And that is incomplete.
As we've seen, their first 2 drives didn't yield anything points-wise. Certainly feels like they think to themselves, it's time to open this thing up, taking the big shot downfield.
So after the incompletion on 1st, now 2nd and 10. Again, they'll throw it with Lance. They'll run the screen with Mitchell. 4 yards the gain, and it'll bring up a third down.
Boy, that was certainly well-read defensively, and the key to any screenplay is space to work, and there was none to be found there, and they tackle him for just a short gain.
It'll be a nickel look here for the Seahawks on third down. Lance looking to throw it. Checks this one down. It's Mitchell. And he is going to have a Niners first down as they're able to get the third down conversion.
Another catch for him there on this drive, Brandon, and it looks like they're going to utilize him out of the backfield any way they can. And that time they pick up a first down. So now on defense, do you assign a man to him and try and cover him before he gets going?
Off of play action, here's Lance. Out to his left. He'll dump that one off to Mitchell. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8, 2nd and 2. Looked like a pretty good, safe play right there. No, he's had trouble with the interceptions in this game there. Hits his guy out in the flat.
Yeah, so many times we hear quarterbacks and offensive coordinators talk about in your progressions, you're either throwing the touchdown or you're throwing the check down. But earlier in the game, it was touchdown or interception. Now he got to the check down, a nice safe throw and a good one. And they pick up a first down, and that came out of the fullback position. But as you and I both know, that doesn't necessarily mean that's a fullback playing in that spot.
Well, times have changed, right? The old school fullback doesn't really exist anymore.
We're not getting that same play.
Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. He couldn't get rid of it. He takes a sack for a loss of 6 to bring up 2nd down. Another try after the first down sack. Lance. And that'll wind up moving the chains again as the tackle's going to be made at the Seahawks 17-yard line.
And this has been a nice answer to the touchdown drive against them a few minutes ago because they've come out and reestablished the tempo. A nice throw there, and they're putting together a very strong drive as a response.
49ers with their first trip to the red zone thus far. They've got a 1st and 10 at the 17. And Lance now to throw. Flush to his right. To the right side, it's caught by Mitchell. That catch good for only a couple.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
Touchdown! A great play there. His 2nd touchdown on the season. And the 49ers are back within a score. Extra point by Sly is up and good. And that'll cut the lead down to a touchdown. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And this will not be returned. It's a touchback, and they'll begin at the 25. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. And, you know, it's certainly a lot of football left to play. We're not into December yet, but right now where we stand, they're in first place in their division, looking really good and looking to be a threat come January.
And are you one of those early holiday shoppers, partner? Are you one of those guys get your list done? Because I think about what every team has on their holiday shopping list right now. What's the number 1 goal? Make the playoffs. Number 2, win your division. Number 3, and I think the biggest goal of all, try to get the number 1 seed so you get that first-round bye and ensure you don't have to go anywhere in January and hopefully get to the Super Bowl that way.
The Seahawks on third down. They've been okay, 2 for 3 thus far. This will be 3rd and 6. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Charvarius Ward, and he'll get this back to the 32-yard line. From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. Now a handoff here to his running back. And he'll be a couple yards shy of the red zone here at the 22-yard line. That one good for 10 yards. And that'll bring up a 2nd and just about a few inches here. We've hit the 2-minute mark in the 2nd quarter. 14-7. Coming up at halftime, I'll go from one personality, that's you, Charles Davis, to another one in Orlando, the coach. He'll have stats and scores from around the NFL. You and Jonathan Coachman both larger than life.
No doubt about it.
But you're stuck with me in this booth,
yes,
and he's miles away and smiling.
And happy. Nice idea, nice concept there. Line him up on the left side of the formation. Let him sneak his way across. Coming back underneath. Put it in his hands. Let him get a few more yards after the catch, too.
Great way to utilize a tight end on the drag route. Now we're 1st and 10 at the 11. Flushed out right. And it looks like he'll be just a yard shy of the 5 here as he's out at the 6. He'll get 5 out of the scramble. It's 2nd down. And they'll run on the inside handoff. And he's brought down right at the 5-yard line. Give him 2 on the play. Just not a whole lot of room to operate there on that carry.
No, not at all. They did a really nice job staying in their proper places and not allowing any lanes to open up.
On 3rd down, Mitchell. And he'll get blown up behind the line. Now the Seahawks going to use the first of their timeouts. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. So they're going to come to the line here, and it appears try to go for it on 4th. And they'll go for it. Lance. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. The Niners go for it, but it doesn't work out. And the Seahawks are going to take over the football. Here's the Seattle offense ready to get this drive underway. And now with still more than a minute to go in what's been a tight game, you figure we'll try to see them move the ball downfield.
And remember, they get the kickoff to start the 2nd half, so this is a golden opportunity for them to go down there and put up a couple of 6s back-to-back. What a momentum swing that would be.
Yeah, you might be able to get a 2-for-1 without ever even giving up the football. Now a play fake here on 1st down. Going for Metcalf on the deep ball. And that's caught inside the 30. Now the Seahawks call the 2nd of their 3 timeouts as they stop it with 28 seconds to go in the first half of play. So barely time to catch our breath. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the red zone. He'll drop to throw. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up 2nd down.
Well, they certainly gave it an attempt. They had a diminutive receiver like this running through the land of giants in the middle of the field, but they couldn't find enough room to get him the football.
An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Back to throw again. And he's going to go down. They sack him back right around the 30. The 49ers now going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with 17 seconds to go in this first half of action. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And that'll be incomplete with 11 seconds remaining now.
And when you've thrown as many interceptions as he has in this one, you definitely start getting a little hesitant to throw the ball out wide because that's prime pick 6 territory. That time, he made sure the only guy who was going to catch it was sitting in the 3rd row.
So that one on target, and it adds to this first half lead.
And maybe we're too early to worry too much about one-score lead, two-score lead, etc. But this is where you kind of start banking those points that come in helpful later on.
And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully. The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. And only 6 seconds on the clock, so time likely for just one play. They'll roll him out right. On the run, he'll let this go deep right side. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Levi Wallace with a pick. And he will be brought down on what will be the final play of this first half. So we are at halftime here in downtown Seattle with the Seahawks out in front. As we'll send you eastward to Orlando. Standing by with that EA Sports halftime report now is Jonathan Coachman. Take it away, Coach. The 49ers going to have the football and trailing on the scoreboard as we get back underway on EA Sports. Here comes Harris out of the end zone. And they'll get him down right around the 25, actually the 26 officially, so a net gain of 1 there. The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. And they're on the short end of the scoreboard here. And Charles, what adjustments, if any, do you think they need to make? And the Seahawk defense gets to him and they bring him down. Jadeveon Clowney showing the explosiveness on the sack.
I'd say it's not panic time yet, but let's be honest about it. Empty possession here, not what you're looking for when you're down a couple of scores.
Absolutely not. Trying to start the second half off on the right foot. Unfortunately, going to give the ball up. Here's a throw dropped off to his fullback.
Hold on a second. Was that the fullback? That was the fullback. Who says it? The slot receivers are the only guys who can catch the football and get big yardage after the catch. Really nice job there, showing good hands and an ability to get upfield.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. Throwing now is Lance. And the throw there going to be incomplete. He's had trouble finding open receivers all game, CD, and that's because really there hasn't been many. This defense has been all over them.
Yeah, they're one of the better defenses in the league, and every time I talk to someone around the NFL, they all say the exact same thing. They're so fundamentally sound, it's hard to execute against them.
It's a 57-yard punt, 14 on the return. And it'll be Seahawk football, 1st and 10. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. And they split the uprights last time for 3. They've got the lead. They're not going to play this conservative. They're not hoping for another field goal. They're hoping for a touchdown.
I'm with you on that one. I like where your head is. I like the way you're thinking because you're exactly right. Trying to sit on a lead and play that way, that doesn't work too well for most teams. Run your offense. Run what you do best. Exactly. Put it all the way down and try and increase your lead in a big way. And the best way to do it, touchdowns.
The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6. He'll look to throw. Open man, that's Noah Fant, the tight end. And they're able to get this one across the 35.
And now we get into the psychology of the whole thing because a lot of teams with a 2-score lead in the 3rd quarter, they almost become defensive with their offense, just playing not to lose. I think with this team, you got to figure at this point, this is a great spot for them to go into attack mode, really try to put the hammer down and finish this one off.
And he puts his head down and gets up to the 42 for a gain of about 6.
Running lanes were at a premium in the first half, but he's able to find some room there, and he's hoping that that's a precursor of a big second half.
On play action, they'll throw. On the move to his left. And that's caught inside the 30. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. A big play that time through the air. 32 yards. So now then, the big play has him all the way inside the 30 now, 1st and 10. He'll look to throw. The screen pass here to Cohen. And he went nowhere. He'll lose yardage back to the 29. That one unable to develop, never got going. A loss of a couple, and it's 2nd down. Inside 4 minutes to go, 3rd quarter. Here we go on 2nd and 12. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete. Well, that's a perfect example of how he was named NFC Defensive Player of the Week from last week's game. He is just all around the football right now, isn't he?
That he is, and it's funny because I talked with the coaching staff about drills that they do in practice, and one of them is called matching hands. And as soon as that hand is launched by the quarterback, you throw up the opposite hand and match that hand with the QB, and oftentimes you're able to knock it away, as we just saw there.
And that's not nearly going to be enough. Stopped at the 22, and he needed plenty more. They get 7 there, but it brings up 4th. And his kick is indeed good. And that will open the lead up now to 20-7. So the lead grows here incrementally, but I think the way their defense is playing, you feel okay with just getting 3.
They've definitely been stout so far, but now that could all change because if one guy gets loose for 70 yards, this is a different game. But as it stands, field goals are good. Just keep adding to that lead.
The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. And they're coming off a 3-and-out, my friend.
I think they've got to look at that play sheet and go to a spot.
And now here is another interception. Picked off around the 27. And you have to wonder, Charles, a game like this, 5 interceptions, what does this do to the psyche of a young quarterback?
Well, based on the fact that he's still out there and he threw a 5th interception, I'm wondering if his head coach believes that he's really strong mentally and wants him to play through it. Because otherwise, you need to get him out and fight another day because this could leave lasting damage if he keeps throwing interceptions.
The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7. The play-action fake. They'll look to throw. He'll buy some time right. Completes it to Fant on the right side. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10.
His position, and he's listed as a tight end, but he certainly doesn't run like one, and that's what we're seeing more and more coming into the league. Those guys who can run, make plays after the catch, and gain that additional yardage.
And use it. And he's not able to get away. Sacked back at the 22. Javon Kinlaw able to record his 5th sack of the season. And the job becomes twice as difficult now. After the sack, it's 2nd and 20. They'll look to throw here. And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Picked off down near the 5. And he's going to get this one to the 23-yard line. He's had a fantastic rookie season, made a lot of lovely throws, but that wasn't one of them.
Well, we got to give him one, don't we? I mean, with the year he's having, a lot easier for he and his teammates to accept that throw. Because for the most part, what they've seen, it's been pretty sensational.
And it's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect. Well, the passing windows are just not there. That's just another example of how great this defense has been all game long.
And that's exactly what a top 10 defense can do. They can really change the game tempo and frustrate you as you try to execute offensively.
Now this throw caught left side. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield.
Well, that certainly has to feel good. It's not all the time that the play caller should get all the credit. Sometimes I think in the huddle, the quarterback just says, hey, who's going to make a play for me? I just need something right here. And the end result there, nice 1st down. Drive keeps moving.
On play action, Lance winds up and lets it go for Samuel. And my goodness, another interception. Picked off inside the 5. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. Here's the Seattle offense ready to get this drive underway. And with 3 interceptions thrown already, we'll see. Do they rely more on the ground game here?
They may have to change things offensively to try and settle things down, not just for the guy throwing the ball, but for the rest of the offensive unit, because their confidence has to be shaken a little bit. And you just wonder, is the backup going to start to warm up a little bit over on the sideline?
Now on first down, he'll drop to throw it. Going for Metcalf on the deep ball. And that one incomplete. They try to sneak in a deep ball with the clock running down. But to no avail as time will expire on this third quarter of play. 2nd and 10. They're going to look to throw. And that one's going to be off target and incomplete.
You can tell they wanted to get that ball downfield. They had nothing working in the secondary, so he dropped it off to the running back. That one ended up incomplete.
The Seahawks on third down. They've converted just 2 for 6 thus far. This is 3rd and 10. Back to throw. Escaping the pressure right. And eventually taken down here. Great coverage downfield. Nick Bosa. He's the one to get him, and that is sack number 7 for him on the year. Now here's Michael Dixon, standing right on his own 5-yard line. And no return possible here as they angle this one out of bounds. The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. Their defense was able to force the punt. That's the good news. But this is still a 2-score game, and they need points on this drive and in a relatively quick manner. Eluding the pressure right. And he'll be out of bounds across the 30-yard line. He'll wind up getting right about 4 there on the scramble, and it's 2nd down.
They brought the blitz that time, and I thought they were going to get to him, but instead he flipped it on its ear and ended up picking up positive yardage.
I thought he was dead to rights, but you are exactly correct, sir, able to turn that into a positive gain.
But we've talked about it, CD, but it bears repeating. They are struggling to throw the football. All the interceptions and more incompletions. It just doesn't look like things are in sync out there.
I would agree with that, and it's not a good day when you feel like an incomplete pass is almost a win for you because it wasn't intercepted. And I think the receivers now, when they're running their routes, they want to catch the ball, but they also want to make sure that the defenders don't take it away. How about some applause for the defense there? They forced them to throw that one into coverage, and just like that, they're staring at a 4th down. Well done.
All right, they're going to try and keep hope alive here on 4th down. They're going for it. Got to try it here. He's back to throw. That's to his running back, complete. And he gets this up across the 35 before he's out of bounds. So 1st and 10 after a big mistake on 4th down with a penalty.
To throw, it's Lance.
And his throw's going to be incomplete.
I'm not even sure I know who this guy is out there playing right now. This is very unlike him, one of the most accurate guys in the league. Totally off his game right now.
I don't know. I was going to ask you what you pin it on, but defensively, they've been pretty solid.
But sometimes, you know, those defenders, they get into the receivers pretty well, and if they chip away at their timing, it's going to affect what you're doing throwing the ball as well. Receiver coaches preach to their guys all the time, separation, that's what's going to make the play successful. That time there was very little, and I think they were actually fortunate that it was only knocked away and not intercepted.
So no sack. He gets back to the line of scrimmage, but it'll still bring up a 4th down.
Well, the defensive guys won't be real happy because there won't be a sack on this play because he did get back to the line of scrimmage. But what a job they did overall. Hemmed him in and gave him nowhere to go with the football.
And they're indeed going to go for it here on 4th down. So trailing here in the last quarter. Let's see how this plays out. As expected, they're going for blitz coming, and down he goes. The Niners go for it, but it doesn't work out. And that will force a turnover on downs. They'll run on 1st down. It's Carson. And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
And this one almost intercepted. Far too loose with the football. Nearly a 4th pick of the ball game. The Seahawks on 3rd down, lacking much success, just 2 for 7 to this point. This is 3rd and 8. He wants it all for the end zone. And this will be caught by Metcalf for a Seahawk touchdown. DK Metcalf, 43 yards. And the Seahawks look like they're going to get back in the win column as they extend their lead here in this 4th quarter. The 49ers now going to use the first of their timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this. Now the Seahawks going to use the first of their timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this. Extra point try now for Vedvik. And that one pushes the lead up to an even 20.
to kick this one away, and off it goes. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken. The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. And last